Welcome to Better Circles, a podcast where we bring great people together to share ideas that are good for the planet. We're your hosts, Fiona Smith and Luke Phillips. Every episode, we sit down with our deck of conversation starter cards and talk about the things that are making us feel hopeful and inspired. Hey, Katie. Hey, Luke.
Hey, Fiona. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Hello.
Hello. So we're here at Intercoffee again, which is on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and we'd like to pay our respects to their elders past and present. And we've got Katie with us today. I'm going to try and capture some of the intro of who Katie Falkiner is. I really love this, Katie, because you've described your career as a Venn diagram rather than a linear path. And I'm just a massive dorky fan of Venn diagrams. And the podcast is called Better Circles. So, that really resonated.
It's no coincidence.
Yeah, we said we've got to get her.
I was thinking about that today. Sort of mash circles together.
Yeah.
Depending on the job to do.
That's so good. So you said that your career then features regenerative design, communications and transport. And I know you through your regenerative design circle mostly. So we met when you were regenerative projects lead at Social Enterprise Cafe Street. Katie and I ran a workshop together as part of Melbourne Knowledge Week. We had people using human-centered design to develop and test ways that Street could be progressing their planet plan. So things like getting people to choose plant-based food on the menu or using reusable containers. And we've done a bunch of other fun and ridiculous things around Collingwood together, all in the name of design, regenerative design.
That's good to clarify.
Absolutely.
My mind went straight to, Friday Arvo drinks or something like this.
No,
And a couple of those.
Yeah, a couple of those. And in your communications circle, Katie, I understand you've co-founded an independent publisher, Cardigan Press. I know you've worked for Lonely Planet and you've worked on campaigns and communications for environmentally progressive government candidates as well. And I know you also read some of your articles. Is that right?
Yep. No. Yes.
Yeah.
I have writing really as a trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I studied that and then have spun everything almost out of writing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then your current role is a bit in the communications and a bit in the transport circles. In particular, you're all about active transport and e-bikes. So over the last 4 and a bit years, I think you were saying your cargo bike has done over 14,000 kilometres.
Yep.
Which is incredible. And you advocate for bikes, bike infrastructure and walkable city infrastructure through your current role. Every time we catch up, and today was no different, I feel like you and I spend about the first 10 minutes before anything else talking about how we got there, our bike ride or something related to bikes, because we've both just gotten off bikes and it's like, where did you park? What did you wear to cycle here?
You were just straight into it. So I think before even hello, you said, you're wearing a sash now. What are you doing this?
It really...
I read a study.
And it was like, where do you park around here? Like, I was like, I parked down there, but bring it in. And
That's so good.
I think that it happens every time. There's always something that's been like, did you see the new lane here? Or have you, or something's been annoying on the way there and got a vent about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Bikes. It's friendly transport.
It is, yeah. And so usually after our intros, we ask our guest to fact check the intro, but I'd also like a bit of a fact check on the intro and anything else I've missed. But also, how was your bike ride today?
Well, I have this thing that I say to people because people often try and talk to me about their recreational bike rides.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I don't bike for fun, but I always have fun when I bike.
Oh, I love that.
It was very lovely, nifty little trip in from the city actually, and it just always makes me happy traveling at this time of day because there's a bunch of people.
Yes.
There's so many people and it's fun. I love seeing what people are wearing on their bikes and who's not going to beat me at the lights and who is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a lot of fun. So it was a lovely, and I get to ride down past the gardens, the Fitzroy Gardens, which is always beautiful. So.
And you get to ride past all the people stuck at traffic lights as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
And that's probably one of my favourite
gardens and that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's actually so I left Melbourne for about 12 months at one stage, and I ride my bike everywhere. And then I lived in the country, and you just don't ride a bike there. I mean, it's where we were, it's kind of dangerous. You're out on roads with big trucks coming past and everything. And I still remember the first ride I had coming back into the city. I couldn't wipe the smile off my face. It's
brilliant.
You just feel it's like this freedom that you have. Like, I could go anywhere.
Yeah.
Technically, you can do that in a car too, but it's so much better on a bike.
No, if there's
exploring.
roadworks. Sorry, go back and I'll interrupt you less rudely.
It's a reverse fact check. I like it.
But on a bike, if there's roadworks, you can go on the footpath.
Yeah.
Like you would walk, of course. And there's all those nifty little no-through roads that are through roads for bike riders and walkers.
Yeah.
But people don't know. So there's sort of this whole, I feel like there's quite an active transport network that's just not tapped into, and cars can't go there. So we have a lot more freedom than the cars.
Yeah.
They don't want to admit it.
Maybe that's where that feeling was coming from then.
Yeah.
I wasn't tapped into it. I wanted to ride past some roadworks.
I rode past some the other day, and my cargo bike that I love very much, I call it Olive because she's an olive colour. Great imagination there. But the road worker pointed out that I was dressed to coordinate with my bike.
Oh, I love
So
that.
I was a little bit embarrassed, but
I love
it
that.
was quite cute.
So yeah,
Olive.
good bike ride here. The fact check though, in terms of the intro, what did I miss? Because you've done so many interesting things. I feel like I tried to cover it, but only scratched the surface.
Yeah, look, I was thinking about it today, and I was like, what have I done and what am I doing? And I realised I'm slowly becoming my dad. Really? Yeah, which, he was a town planner.
Oh, cool.
And actually, worked as a town planner in the 80s. And he's also a systems person.
Wow.
He was a cyberneticist sort of from the 70s onwards. So really taught us how to think in that systems way. There's a lot of, what are the unintended consequences of what you're thinking about doing?
Yeah.
Which, when you're going to a party when you're 16 is a little bit annoying to have to think about the unintended consequences. But after I studied writing, I ended up working at Lonely Planet.
Yep.
That just started as a digital content producer and was quite a straightforward little job. But then I moved into product owner and user experience. And that user experience mixed with the systems thinking and then the regenerative environmental side coming in. It was actually quite a formative time that has sort of ended up influencing the rest of what I've done and what I've been able to do, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about a Venn, right? The circles overlap.
Absolutely. It really hasn't been a path then.
That's that multidisciplinary approach, whether it's intentional or unintentional, is so important. Gemma, who spoke on one of our earlier episodes, had a similar career thus far, but it's also so important for the problems that we're all trying to solve because they are nuanced and there's so many different stakeholders that different things affect in different ways. And if you kind of come out with this sort of tunnel vision binary approach, then, you might make some leeway in somewhere, but then, where's that taking from elsewhere? So maybe it's meant to be. You've got the user-centered design and the systems approach.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, Dad retrained as a Jungian hypnotherapist when he was 60, so I look forward to that.
Oh, good.
It was quite out there. It's a type of psychotherapy. So he's almost sort of psychotherapist, hypnotherapist kind of guy, which is intense at times.
Where are you on your timeline in progressing towards that?
I've got a few years left, thankfully. Yes.
But what a beautiful example of someone saying, this is not too late to try something completely different and go, you know what? This might be my calling. And not to be like, well, that might have been my calling and I'm going to live with regret. The day's still young.
I think he and I share a similar today. I was walking in the park with some colleagues. I was like, could I become an engineer? Which really is a little bit ludicrous. Probably need a little more maths. But I don't think you can. You can just...
Keep adding circles into the Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Can't call a better circle. It's better circles.
Yes.
And there is sort of that question, I think, that comes up of when you become an expert in something, if it's a circle. But I think as opposed to like a path where you get up to this level and then you're this, when you have a lot of them yes, you end up sort of creating this really specific expertise in a few little places rather than, you sort of...
Yeah, it's because it's specific in where all the parts of the Venn diagram overlap, but it's broad in a positive way.
Yeah.
Lots of other aspects.
Who was it who was talking about being close to the people you're making things for?
Oh, Gemma.
Gemma.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and I think she's absolutely right. And through my various workplaces, so I do work with people who know how to make something, but then sometimes they don't actually know the why. And this is a really big thing that, or how people will use it. Mm-hmm. That early experience in user experience.
Totally.
Ended up being, informing everything after that.
Absolutely.
Pretty key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I champion that from an industrial design perspective for sure.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
We're all like in the fan club. I remember doing user-centered design early days of the internet, and it wasn't called UX, it was not really a thing. And that idea of, who's using this and what are they trying to achieve and what are they bringing to it? Whether that's communicating and going, how is this going to be received, or designing, cities and how people move around them. And Gemma talked a lot about that. You guys have got to hang out at the launch party.
Oh, looking forward to it.
Yeah, have you met?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Should we start on some of the cards? We've got our conversation starter cards. There's a few of them out on the table. Katie, since you're our guest, you get to pick which one you'd like to start with.
Vibe check. There's a couple of little games that I play when I'm on my bike.
Yep.
And the first one that I just love, and everyone can play it, it's imagine if all these vehicles were bikes.
Yes.
When you think, if all these were bikes, we would take up so much less space. We would move much more efficiently. Yeah, there was some stats came out from New South Wales the other day showing that if you ride a bike to commute, every kilometre saves the health department in New South Wales $2.93
Per day.
per kilometre. Yeah, if you walk, it's like $4.97 or something.
Wow.
Should be less specific in case I'm getting it slightly wrong. It's about $3 and about $5, which is absolutely mad when you think about it. Like what positive outcomes can come from someone just riding a bike for 2 kilometres rather than driving. So that's one game I like playing. Imagine all these people are on bikes. And then the other one is, in my head, I start a lot of Instagram pages.
Oh, yeah, cool.
One's about modal filters, because I love a good modal filter.
Okay.
And the other one...
Explain a modal filter. Go on, tell us, what would the bio be and what would the profile picture be?
The profile picture would be Canning Street.
Oh.
Yes, because it essentially can be anything. It can be planters, it can be big piece of infrastructure, like some big bollards or something like that.
A no-through road that has a
No-through
path
road
just for bikes?
Path-through is kind of a modal filter. Yeah, so it's anything that
Canning
filters
Street
the
has.
modes.
Yeah.
And that's Canning Street. The cars can't go all the way through, but the bikes can.
Yeah.
Which is what makes it a glorious biking
They're like
experience.
such a VIP on Canning Street.
Yeah.
They should paint the bike lanes red.
Yeah, red carpet.
Yeah.
Maybe that. Do you remember that guerrilla gardening show that used to happen? I think they did the corner of Smith and Gertrude once.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's concrete.
Yeah.
But they would just go in there and just start. They just put high-vis vests on and just start gardening in public places. Maybe you could start a guerrilla
Modal filtering.
disguise.
And the one I've been thinking about a lot lately is an Instagram page called Melbourne Fietza. Fietza being the term for people who ride bikes in normal clothes.
I'm a Fietza.
You're a Fietza.
Fiona the Fietza.
Yeah.
Also you.
Fietza, yeah.
So is a Fietza just the opposite of a mammal?
A little bit. So the Dutch thing is, what is the other term? Is it cyclist even? That's someone who runs with bikes, and Fietzas walk with a bike.
Oh.
So it's just people who go a bit more slowly, dress normally. Just,
I don't
you might go a bit
go very
fast.
slow.
To be honest.
Fast in normal clothes. Go fast in a dress.
Go fast.
Fiona fast, Fietza. It's really hard to say. Yes, so Melbourne Fietza, which would be basically people's kits, because people are wearing really cool stuff on bikes at the moment. There's some natty suits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, let's start celebrating that. So
Oh my God, I love that. You should do that.
Yeah.
Or someone
know if I'm a
listening
great
should do that.
photographer.
Are we
Someone
throwing this
please
into the
do
world
that.
to sort of
Yeah.
say someone
Give you
could
the
take either of
passwords.
these?
I think that's made me really happy, especially because it's summer. And so people like wearing skirts and just looking really like they're really enjoying riding a bicycle, which they probably are.
One of the things
Most likely.
as a Fietzer, love this term, taking it on. If I'm wearing sometimes like really baggy pants, then I'll like wear knee-high socks underneath or take a bulldog clip or a hair tie and just turn them into these enormous balloony director pants so that they're like not going to go in the chain. Then when you get off the bike, sometimes you're like, I look eccentric. I look pretty out there right now. And there's been the moments where I'm going, do I just keep this going? Especially if the knee-high socks are the same color as the big pants. It's just like a real sort of jodhpur director pant kind of thing.
That's a vibe for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever just decided to carry it through from the bike to whatever I had to do for the day. But
I have, but I haven't.
carry
It
it
hasn't been a conscious decision. I also only do my right leg. I don't do the left one.
yeah.
But I've gotten back home or gone to get back on the bike and I better tuck my pants in. Oh, they're still tucked. I've just been walking around all day.
I did turn up somewhere the other day and I have taken to wearing the high-vis sash, which just a bit of ribbon I got from somewhere. And I forgot to take it off. And someone thought that I'd chosen to wear a high-vis sash over my black dress.
Did they think maybe you were a bridesmaid heading off to a hen's party afterwards or something?
About half an hour in, they said, what did you win? I was suitably embarrassed.
Yeah, that's
Yay!
Yeah, so I'm very nervous about forgetting to take it off. Yeah, you reckon it's me?
You're a trailblazer.
I mean, if you got the high-vis sash and wrote most visible on it,
Oh, yes.
then
Yeah.
it's kind of like you did win something.
I mean, not to just keep bringing Gemma up in this podcast again, but there's just so much overlap. But are you familiar with the cycling brand that she started called Tabawan and Back?
No.
So she started an amazingly well-designed fashion brand that was all custom made and it was designed for high vis. And so you would
that's
wear
really
it
cool.
around looking like a badass, really well dressed. And then sometimes there was just like a button that you would undo and you would like flap it over to the other side and underneath it was,
Oh,
high
that's
vis
so
reflective.
clever. That's
And she
great.
had this really cool print where it said, now you see me, now you don't. So when you close the high vis over, it says, now you don't. You open it up and it's in reflective. It says, now you see me. I'm actually wearing the socks. These used to be reflective on the back. The print on the back is like reflective on your
These
Achilles.
socks are
awesome.
super cool, listeners.
Oh, yeah.
They're red and they've got little, are they diamonds on the back?
It says sports.
Oh, they are cool.
Fiona has previously tried to show her foot on the podcast. So
Okay, my
now
shoe.
we've both done it.
It was my shoe, not my foot.
Yeah. But the shoe is in your foot. On your
I did have to try and lift it up to show it up because it was in context. To be fair,
it was in its own segment.
You're not alone. Not alone.
actually, I know someone who we both know. Matt has a tweed jacket he made that has a high vis woven through the tweed.
Oh, that's
So it's
clever.
just this nice cycling jacket he made, and then it looks cool, and then it glows.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love this stuff. And there's that woman in Adelaide making the Mondrian
Yes, I've seen them.
vests
Yeah,
and
they're cool.
things, and they're so cute.
Yeah.
And you just throw them over. I ended up buying, because I needed something reflective in winter. So I was riding home at night. Rising Festival was selling all their jackets, all their cycle
they're really
courier
cool.
jackets.
Oh,
cheaply.
cool.
Yes, and I've ended up like, this is what happens when you ride a bike. The guy next to me was wearing one as well, and we ended up going, "Oh, cool jacket." Like, yeah, cool jacket. And then it turns out that he lives next door to my mates, and like it was this whole
little
you know, that
chat
weird
in the
thing
bike
you
lane.
learn between Bridge Road and Wellington Street, and you're like, "Oh yeah, okay." But a lot of people do stop me and think I'm part of Rising Festival, and I feel a little bit like a charlatan because I'm not. But they tell me how great it is, how much they love it, and I nod and say I'm really pleased.
Yeah.
Which isn't a lie. You are
Isn't a
pleased
lie.
that they
Yeah.
love it.
So pleased they're enjoying it. They tell me about shows they've seen. It's very, very sweet and unexpected.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh man, that's like there's a t-shirt I've worn in here on one of our episodes and it's the Marine Mammal Sanctuary, which is a place in California. I picked up this shirt at a op shop. But it has volunteer. It's a volunteer shirt. And on the back it says like the logo and in big letters it says Tuesday Day Crew. And so I've had people ask me that. I go, so where's the Marine Mammal Sanctuary? And I was like, so it's in
California.
It's in California. And I never volunteered. But sometimes I would wear it to like national parks, hiking over there, and you'd get all these like nice smiles and things. I'd be like, I love the shirt and I feel bad.
I love these people living this dream for you.
Yeah.
God, that woman, she gets to be a volunteer.
Yeah, maybe they go home and think, you know what, I'm going to do that volunteering I always wanted to do.
Maybe you've inspired them.
Right.
Without having to do a volunteer shift at the Marine Mammal Sanctuary.
Which would be really fun.
It would be awesome. Hang with the otters.
Yeah, I could do that.
Anyway, sorry. So off track. But that's a cool vibe check. I love that idea of imagine if all the cars were bikes or imagine if all the bikes were cars.
Oh, yes.
I've thought about, there's Ride to Work Day. How do you organise no, everyone who's usually on a bike get in a car?
Drive to Work Day.
And see, but I think you could do it with modelling instead. You could actually model probably how much slower it would be if all those bikes were in cars, and it'd be super cool if that showed somehow.
A few weeks ago, we were in Lygon Street.
Yeah.
And after we all said goodbye, I turned around and counted the this is how nerdy I am, counted the bikes that were...
I love how much bike parking there is on Lygon Street.
There was something like 198 bikes.
What?
You counted
It was Monday.
198.
It was Monday night at the Nova, so there were probably a lot of people going in to see films. But there was this insane amount. Oh, I have to fact check that.
I don't think
I did
anyone
write
would have
it
a
down.
photo of that specific day.
You could...
Well, I took photos of.
except Katie.
I took loads of photos, unless it was 98 bikes.
In any case, it's a lot.
Yeah, it was so many bikes, and if those were cars, you would need. Let's say there are 150 bikes, okay, just for the sake of the explaining this. There was, it was either 100 or 200. So let's say 150. You would need an acre of space to park them.
Wow.
And where are you going to suddenly find that in the inner city?
That is a fact.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, people, it's not just using the road space, but the parking space is huge for those people.
How many cinemas can you get in an acre?
I don't know.
6-8 cinemas worth of additional parking. So half of you can't see the movie because you all drove cars. You need to park them in
Wow,
there.
did you see the comments from Americans on social media after photos and footage of the Taylor Swift concert came out in Melbourne, and they were just like, she played to, 200,000 people or something at the MCG. And they were like, what? How does it have that many people in there? Where are the cars? Because you look at the MCG from the sky and there's no, and all the Australians are like, no one drives. There's like really good, some people drive, but very few people drive. There's all this good public transport there. You might drive to your local train or tram sort of stuff, and then just public transport in. And by contrast, you saw these photos of American stadiums where the stadium looks like
tiny.
It just looks like
It's more
the
like
little
an airport.
dot.
Like a bus to the...
It's like the yolk in a big egg white of parking space. Like fried egg ratio.
Yeah.
Did either of you go to Taylor Swift?
I didn't. Did you?
I Taylor-gated.
Cute.
I did have to go and meet someone in the city. So I went a bit early and rode around outside and had a listen. And the party that was happening. There were like 10,000 people outside in those gardens having this massive party, trying to see in through the bits when they could. You can't get that if it's a car park. Like, it is that environment that lets that happen.
They do. They have tailgating, that NASCAR and stuff, but I don't think it's the same vibe.
Well, I went in on my bike as well. And that makes it so easy.
Yeah.
And I think the best parking was, there were a few people just parked right out the front.
Yeah.
Because you can.
Oh, that's so good.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It's very cute.
Well, that's a positive news story. Go Melbourne.
Yeah, I guess that
Probably won't
is.
read it in the paper, but it's my positive news story.
I love that.
Do you want to go into the good news conversation card? Where we each look up from our news scrolling and say, have you heard about this?
Perfect.
Who's got one?
I discovered and had a really nice couple of conversations with a local founder called Tina. For context, people doing startups in Australia at the moment are really struggling to get funding. And then if that's a physical innovation, like a product or something like this, then it's even harder. You know, everyone wants your 1 million X scalable digital product. And she is just a total weapon. So she's, over the last couple of years, started experimenting with materials to make 100% plant leather. And this is off the back of her previous business where she made a vegan leather bag brand and did all of the due diligence researching all of the technically vegan leather alternatives around the world, but couldn't find one that didn't have petrochemical plastic in the material as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it's technically vegan, but it's far from compostable. Its end of life is, you know, questionable, and the emissions that are embodied in the material are also pretty questionable. And she just embarked on trying to make her own. And so 2 years later, you know, she's raised like over $1 million.
Wow.
We've prototyped some of the stuff here, and it's amazing. And it's 100% plant. There's not any composite materials in there. I mean, it's a blend of like a couple of materials, but they're all 100% natural materials.
So cool.
And it's local. It's here. It's in Melbourne. So that lifts my vibe check, and it's also a good news story.
Yeah, that is good news.
And it's also just a great story because something I've been thinking about a little bit, or a lot of it, and I'm sure everybody else has recently as well, is losing a little bit of faith with everything that's happening in America. And it's that's a really good positive story that we can take, where we can take action into our own hands. Tina spent 18 months to 2 years tinkering around in her kitchen and then working with other scientists that weren't even necessarily specialists in that field, but it was still a step in the right direction. And she never gave up faith, and she's continuing to go, and the snowball's now building, and she's got this epic business that's growing, which is awesome.
So
I
good.
think it's a really good positive story to take into anyone else, that whether you're feeling frustrated or you've got a cool idea, start a new Instagram page to juxtapose the car versus bikes against each other. But yeah, that's my good news snapshot.
That's
great.
So good. How about you, Katie? Have you got one?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, working on a community project, and it finished, and all these people from the community had met, and they cared about the environment, and they were trying to figure out what to do next. And there were lots of conversations about what to do next. And these two amazing women, Kath Creston and Jenny Irvin, just went, we love circular economy stuff. We want to get stuff out of landfill. And they went and did some research, talked to the Darebin Hard Rubbish Heroes, and they just started the Burundara Hard Rubbish Rehome Facebook page.
Yeah, great.
Within a month, they had rehomed tons of stuff. They've got many thousands of followers now, and the volume of stuff that they are saving from landfill,
That's amazing.
is remarkable.
Wow.
It's fascinating for people will put things that would be perceived as high value by anyone up there, and people will grab them, and people will put things up there and say, oh, I'm not sure if anyone can do anything with this, but I'll put it up here anyway. And someone finds something to do.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable and really, really awesome story.
So it's just connecting two people together. They're obviously not housing or storing any.
They, much to their partner's chagrin, they were storing a lot of stuff in the garage.
Wow.
Because one thing that's sort of great is that people go around and photograph the hard rubbish collections.
Yes.
And say, oh, hey, there's this one at this place. If then some people just put stuff up on the post stuff, but some people post the hard rubbish piles. And Kat and Jen initially were just going around in a van collecting all this stuff. The amount of stuff that was on Jen's veranda was remarkable.
Wow.
And they, I believe someone may have donated them some space now, but initially it was just all done out of these two houses
that's amazing.
in Burundara.
There'd be some good stuff in that group.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And
Yeah.
traditionally not a community that celebrates the hard rubbish piles. But that has changed significantly.
Wow,
It's
that's
it's really exciting.
I'm part of the Darebin Hard Rubbish and the Marybeck Hard Rubbish groups, and a lot of great stuff on those. Just exactly that, just connecting the dots between such a cliche, like one person's trash is another one's treasure, but literally that's how it is. Someone goes, I need that thing, and you want to get rid of that thing, and hey, how great. Money's not changing hands because we're both winning here.
Yeah.
And
I think one thing they've done, which is really, really beautiful and speaks to who they are, there's no judgment. So occasionally they'll post a pile And, someone might jump on who's not familiar with the group and go, oh my goodness, like how can they be getting rid of this?
Yeah.
Or that's still valuable. Why aren't they donating that to an op shop or something like that? Kath and Jen's thing is you have no idea what's going on in that person's life.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, they could have had to move to England tomorrow.
Yeah, you don't know why. Might be some really sad story behind it or some happy story. But yeah, and that's such a really beautiful thing to bring to it because it makes you feel very safe posting things as well.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good thread to pull on just for anything to do with climate and
Yes.
people. You like to think that everyone is trying to do their best, but sometimes you just get caught out. With not having disposable takeaway cups into coffee, we don't shame people that forgot their cup or they didn't realise that they wanted a coffee at 10:30 a.m. today.
Yeah.
You just try and figure it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't create change. By being mean to people or shaming them or anything else. I mean, I know the amount of times I drive my car when I think, I really should be on my bike. I don't need anyone else to shame me about it.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of there's a record label called Sarah Records in the UK, and they were making like twee indie kind of stuff. They were really sweet. And one of their co-founders, Matt Haynes, had this saying that I have above my desk at home, which says, "You're never going to start a revolution by being dreary."
Oh, wow.
I'm just like, oh yeah, like you've got to bring people with you because it's fun and because it's an enjoyable thing.
Well, that's back to the name of this podcast. That was one of the things that Luke said when we were trying to work out what to call this. Everything that was like, reduce, reuse, recycle is actually, it's all do less.
It's all steeped in trying to be less bad.
Yeah.
And where we want to take these conversations is painting the picture of what success looks like and, talking in language of good and aspiration and, whatever the opposite of dreary is. I love that.
Yeah.
That's super relevant. First, we had the Venn diagrams come in. Yeah, too much alignment.
So good. Yeah, but I think that everything we've just talked about, like sort of celebrating a lot of the good stuff, that's the opposite of dreary.
Yeah. And I think, because I was thinking about it with the bike and sometimes, it's hard biking in Melbourne sometimes. Like it's not as straightforward as you want it to be and, not everyone's as road aware as you want them to be. But there are upsides and I think sort of, celebrating those the fun bits is really so important. I turned around to a lady not yesterday, probably weeks ago now, to ask her about her e-bike because she had a bike that I was kind of interested in. And I was like, what type of bike are you on? And she took off her sunglasses and went, Katie. It turned out to be this woman I'd met in the dog park and she'd changed jobs. And obviously when people go through a context change or a transition, that's the best time to change travel habits.
Right.
Because they're not ingrained in taking the car yet or whatever they were going to do. And she was changing jobs and she was going to be doing a commute very similar to mine. I was like, you should totally get an e-bike. It was really fun. And apparently I just, kept banging on about how fun it was. And so she, thought she'd give it a try and she's having a ball and it's really lovely. So I just, in my head, constantly have to remember you're not going to bring people with you by being dreary.
Yeah.
So celebrating those fun times and smiling at people when you're on the bike, I think, it's little moments.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, that was my answer for what do I do? Little steps forward.
Oh,
so
look.
I don't know if you want to move to that.
Yeah, okay. So this is the conversation starter card with two names. What the fuck do I do? Or little steps forward. It's ways to move from hopelessness to action or going from feeling like I can't do anything to realising you can.
Yeah, one Irish woman at a time. I will start the e-bike revolution.
I love it. But being joyful about the things that you're doing, I think, is a really great baseline. I mean, I talk about riding all the time, but for the same reason, not because I'm saying you really should be on a bike, but this is a really enjoyable thing. I love what you said before. I don't ride for fun, but I do enjoy riding. I do have fun when I ride.
Fun when I ride, yes. Yeah. So I am pedal assisted when I ride. I do ride an e-bike because means I don't have to change out of my work clothes.
I've also seen you with kids on the back of your bike.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, the cargo bike is absolutely electric. It means that I take it for journeys I would never take a road bike. And yeah, I do love that accessibility of it.
Yeah.
I think it changes how long people ride for, because you get a lot more people riding into their 80s and 90s. I've digressed slightly, but can I tell you about a woman who I met the other day?
Yeah.
Riding up the hill, and we stopped at the traffic lights, and she was on an e-bike and had a dog trailer on the back. She would have been in her 70s easily. And I said, oh, tell me about your dog trailer. I talk to people a lot. The traffic lights, not all the time. I'm not scary. I don't have to talk to you at the traffic lights. But I wanted to know about her dog trailer, and I asked her, and she said, oh, it's great, highly recommend. But today I've got a crate of champagne in the back because I'm going to my friend's house. And I was like, I want to be you when I grow up.
That's amazing.
And so
A crate as well.
Absolutely, no
So
half
good.
measures. And so that technology and bikes that allows that,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
That's
It's,
amazing.
yeah, good time.
That's so fun.
Wow.
So, time for another card?
Yeah.
Classic for me. It's going to be It's Still Good. So this is stories of things that maybe other people thought were past their prime, but, you know, they're still good. Things that could be salvaged. Does anyone have one?
I do. I spent a bit of time thinking about this.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
didn't know it was a subject. And it was really, really, really kind of lucky and kind of not, because when I was 15, I got my first job, and the first thing I did was save up for a stereo.
Yeah.
And this stereo was amazing, and it had CDs and radio and tape. And after I lay by it for weeks, and then about 2 weeks after I got it, it was my birthday, and my friend John gave me a CD single and a record single. And I was like, oh, the record single was The Cure, who were my favourite band. And he went, yes, you have to get a record player.
Oh,
But records are over. No one listens to them anymore, man. Like, what are you doing? Why would you do this? And then a couple of weeks later, sad, but not sad, my great aunt died, and they were throwing out her record player.
oh,
And I was like, oh, look, I'll take that because it might come in handy.
yay.
And it's been going 20 years, and it's, it's brilliant. And now, of course, everyone wants a record player because it's all come back round
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So I have a lot to thank John for, because he knew that really records
going
are quite
anywhere.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Still have the stereo.
They're not.
Yeah. Oh, no, the stereo's gone. But I have the record
Interesting.
player.
Record
Yeah.
And the record player was how old already, do you think, when you got it?
Oh, it'd be 60s, I reckon.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's an old record player.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. And I got a lot of their records as well, which was great fun. So
Yeah.
it keeps music, it's meant a lot to them, and then it gets to still be played. I think it's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
So good.
I actually had a different It's Still Good, but that's just made me think of the idea of something already being quite old by the time you get it and then just kicking on. I went to a friend's wedding a couple of weeks ago, and I wore a dress that I've worn to 2 other weddings before, and I've had it for 12 years. I mean, outfit repeating, especially if you stretch it out.
Once every 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I bought this dress at a market. It was vintage when I bought it 12 years ago.
Great.
So I got curious about this dress and I looked it up, and based on the label and the design of the label. So it looks like it's sort of 50s, but I think it was 60s because the label design of this label, it started in the 50s, but like the design looks like it was their 60s era of this label. And I was like, okay, so it was already, by the time I bought it, it was 50 years old, and then I've had it for another 12. And it's, and I was just like, wow, I've worn it to 3 weddings and to other, events. It's like fairly dressy, and I've lent it to friends to wear. And then I was like, but that's kind of a quarter of its life or something. Like what?
Yeah.
Imagine all the things it's been to before I had it.
Oh, absolutely. I was given Joan Rivers' sister's shoes.
Oh, okay.
Which was really,
Wow.
I'm just thinking of like those old, and they were amazing. They were suede, pointy court shoes, stilettos actually, and they kept going.
Yeah.
Like, they were so well made.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I actually, I had torn this dress kind of close to the hem after one of the things I wore it to. And I went and got it repaired, and it's not a perfect repair, but it's, it's at the back, and it's
Okay.
yeah, and but it made its way to me in perfect condition, worth repairing, obviously. And I still wear it. I don't go, oh, well, I can't wear that because it's got some patching, or not patching, but stitching on it. But yeah, I feel like that's it's still good.
Wouldn't it be cool to have all of the history of where it's been?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always love the library book.
Yeah.
You get like all of the different people that have rented
Oh,
it out. It sort of used to
yeah.
be listed at the front.
Yeah. And the index card thing.
Yeah, the little index card. And even with, to go the other direction, at the extreme, you've got a logbook for a car. Because if you want to buy a car, you need to know whether it's been in any crashes and who serviced it and all of those things. And because it's such a high value asset, it's kept. And there's a local guy, Rakesh, who spoke at our social impact meetup a few months ago, who's working on this product called like a digital product passport.
Yeah.
So there's a few different startups floating around doing it, but it's trying to normalize and streamline the process of having a digital record of products to the point where it's so easy to do, and it's just integrated into the system of purchasing address.
Oh, clever.
That it's all your warranties, everything is already in there. And then if you go through Depop or something and sell it, then it would transfer
cool.
that to them.
Yeah.
Not only does it increase the perceived value and the connection that an individual would have with that item, but it also makes repairing much easier because it's digital. You're like, oh, I've got this tear at the back of my dress. And if it's done properly, you would have a directory of all of the local repair shops that you could like easily go and do it and get pricing. And there's I really hope that we can just pull all of that stuff together because, technology is evil in lots of ways, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're talking about the library books and having the record, I was a bit like, oh, it's a bit like Location On. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. You don't murder anyone when you write your latest logbook in while you're wearing the dress. And
Oh, no.
That's sound life advice.
it will say it on the label, I'm sure. They'll let you know.
I like the idea that you also, when Fee wears it, she would take a little photo. You just get this documentary of all these parties and fun things you've been to.
Yeah.
So
That would actually be really sweet. Moving on with my grandmother's house, it was interesting, the things might not have been of value, but the stories are the key things she wanted to impart about the things more than the things themselves. And yes, if you actually had little, almost like mini photo documentaries of things, it would be really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
I did. It was a friend's wedding, and so photos of it were on social media. And I had quite a few people think, oh, that dress. And I guess it's been a while since I'd worn it. I went back and found the first friend's wedding I'd worn it to and posted them sort of side by side and was like, 12 years on, still wearing it. And then that prompted a friend to send me a photo of her wearing it because she'd borrowed it at one point. And she's like, do you remember when I wore it?
That's so good.
It's pretty
So
cute.
sweet. It's a sisterhood of 60s dresses.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. But I'm all for the idea of if it was well made enough to make it to you, like the record player, like this dress. And that's a real thing with buying secondhand. You can sort of see how something's going to look once the initial sheen has worn off a little and go, oh, yeah, this is actually going to last.
Yeah.
And you'll probably have it for longer as well.
Yeah, I had a friend, she's, was almost second mums growing up, and she was just obsessed with labels, but just gave you so much information on when to buy this label, when it was made by this place, when it was made by that place, and the quality of materials.
Incredible.
And I mean, that was the 80s when she was schooling me as a very small child. But now when I go to the op shop, I have a number of natty Perry cotton jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still use that information to choose what I choose in the op shops because I know
that's really great.
Collectors are all over it, aren't they? We had Harley who teaches some of our sewing classes. I think we got a waist shirt or something like this, and he was looking at the label. He's like, "Hang on, this is a real one." He's just going because the font, the type is like this, and usually it's like that. And yes, so crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we didn't slice it up. I think
He was like, I'm taking
in one
this to Depop.
piece.
sell it for $80.
Going down to Goodbyes and selling it on consignment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Black jackets, I've only ever bought them at the op shop really.
Yeah.
Because they're, well-made one.
Yeah.
It'll just keep lasting.
Well, that's it.
I had done a lot of op shopping when I was younger, and only recently in the last 6 to 12 months, once I was confident enough to sew, just doing upcycling and bags and things 6 months ago, I thought, well, I'll just give it a burn on slicing up some pants and tailoring them to myself.
Oh, great.
I didn't look up, didn't have anyone teaching me. And if you can use a sewing machine, you can tailor pants. It's so easy. I was on this massive high afterwards. Like, everyone needs to know how to do this because it's so intimidating. Because, well, first of all, you have to cut your pants in half. So that's a bit of a one-way street if you don't bring them back together. So that's a bit of that's the scary moment. But when it comes back together and you put them on, you're like, God, what else have I got in my wardrobe I can cut up? And then when you going through the op shop again, you go, oh, well, that's like a bit off, but maybe I could just do this, and it becomes this kind of cool little creative endeavor.
Sewing is underrated for just the alchemy that it is.
Yeah.
It's really coming back. We get so many people in our classes that, it sort of skips them in the generation of their family. Like either their mum might have sewn or their mum didn't sew, or dad, but, to be fair, usually they are saying their mum. And now they go, but I just have these memories of it always being so prevalent, like when I was super young, and I want to bring it back and start to tailor my own stuff and create things. And 30 minutes of someone showing you how to use a sewing machine, you can do not anything, but you get pretty bloody close.
Yeah. Oh, you can have a lot of fun. Yeah, I did pulled out a photo the other day because I used to make most of my kids' clothes when they were little. I made a lot of them because it was faster to cut up an old T-shirt of mine and make them some leggings than to actually go to the shop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Find
That's so great.
That's amazing.
And I'm not good in shopping centres. So I really want to.
This is pre-bike Katie, I imagine.
Pre-bike Katie, yeah. And I was just like, well, listen, I can do it faster here. And they were giggling the other day at a photo where they're both dressed head to toe from the same op shop blankets in jackets and skirts.
That's amazing.
It's very cute. They showed no interest until they're getting older now and they want to style their own clothes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the power you have if you can sew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Significant.
Are they doing it? Are they sewing?
They're making noises at the moment and they've got some
With the sewing machine?
material to wear.
Gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
yes, no, with the sewing machine.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have one who's using it to decorate her room with little sewn banners with
Awesome.
words.
Oh, that's so cool.
I believe they're song lyrics, so it's
Great.
super cute. Yeah.
They'd learn so much sewing from you, but Luke teaches sewing classes here.
Yeah, and I
they're
don't know
always
anything
busy.
according to them. So
Well, no,
good.
you definitely know more than me if you're making full outfits from a blanket.
Where do I
was
sign
literally
up for
just
one of these
talking
skirt and jacket blanket twin sets? Because I think I would love that.
They were very warm children.
And stylish.
They might disagree, but
I have one really short, it's still good, and then one fun one. Short
Okay.
one is I had the best hard rubbish win the other day.
Go on.
I was riding back home through Abbotsford, another benefit of riding on a bike, because I was going down a little bike path that would be technically a dead end if you're in a car.
nice.
And there was this table there that just looked about the perfect size for this courtyard that we've been trying to fill. We just moved house recently and went there, didn't grab anyone, just picked it up, just fitted in my car in the boot, and it's just the perfect size. And my housemates were away for the weekend and they came home and a couple of brownie points
Yes.
on that one.
So good.
And then the other one is, we've spoken about Purpose Precinct on the podcast before, but we just did a batch of upcycling soft plastic from the local precinct, and we just take a little press down there and everyone just kind of like hand stitches it back up. So this kind of like circle where you're getting a material that looks so super rough and low perceived value, and with their hands crafting it into something you can use afterwards. I've spoken about that on here before.
I don't know
Feels
if you
really
have,
familiar.
but it's such a fun workshop. I've done that workshop, and my glasses case that I made, it's like fruit bags pressed into it. So it has this beautiful, almost like snake skinny sort of look to it.
wow.
This is Luke's thing that he teaches, and they press it and it comes out as this usable fabric.
Oh, that's
or
great. I'm
plastic
doing
fabric.
that one.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really fun. So that brings us to our second last card, one we ask all of our guests, which is, who would you name a sandwich after? Because here at Intercoffee, sandwiches are named after people that Luke or the team really like.
Excellent. I love thinking about food, so this has been a great question for me. Mine is named after Anne Hidalgo, who is the mayor of Paris.
Oh, well,
Yes.
Cool.
She's just been elected again. I think this is her third term. And she has rethought Paris and how people move in Paris to the point where at peak hour there are now more bicycles on the roads in Paris than there are cars.
Whoa, what's the
Wow.
timeline on that? How long did that take?
I'd say that's probably about 5-6 years.
Yep.
They had a plan for the Olympics. Last time I checked, and this would be lower now, but they had reduced pollution in Paris by 40%
Whoa.
by taking all those cars off the road.
That's the main metric.
Yeah.
What levers did they pull? Like how did they actually bring that change into action?
So it was massive. Well, that said, to say massive, it's a lot cheaper to build bike infrastructure than it is to build road infrastructure or car infrastructure. So they did take away a huge amount of parking.
Yep.
Thousands, many thousands of car
would be
parks.
Short term, very unpopular, I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah. And she fought, there's a thing called backlash, which is the backlash you get when you do a bike project.
Right.
And
That's
no
so
matter
good.
what city you're in, no matter where you are, you will get backlash. And it just she was prepared to wear it
Yeah.
and has transformed the city. It's been really beautiful. And Jeanette Sadiq Khan, who wasn't the mayor, she was the transport commissioner in New York. She did a similar thing. She's got a lot of people on bikes over there as well. And then there's mayors in Spain. And
Where would you say Melbourne is relative to Paris, New York? Because I ride down Wellington Street and it's substantially better than it was
yeah,
5 years ago.
yeah. There are moments where, especially in the north or that Canning Street world and Wellington, where I think, we're not Amsterdam, but we're on our way in parts of it.
Yeah.
And I get really frustrated by the fact that we don't talk about that
Yeah.
and we don't show it.
I remember having taken photos pulled up at the end of Canning Street about to cross Alexandra Parade and just being like, look at this stack of peak hour commuters I'm in
Yeah.
and like how quickly we're just going to move through this change of lights,
Yeah.
And how,
great.
I love efficiency, which is part of the reason why I love riding a bike.
Yeah.
And just the inefficiency of carrying 2 ton of metal with you when you travel
Yeah.
is just astounding. And how we've normalised that is remarkable.
Yeah.
Was there any incentives or any kind of like other behaviour change initiatives that they did? This is Paris.
I'm trying to think. I think it was actually Belgium. They started paying people to ride to work.
Wow.
Yeah, which, I'm using 2010 figures here,
Sure.
but it saves the economy, a 10-kilometre commute by bike saves the economy $20.10. So,
Commute.
yeah, the savings in health, the savings in infrastructure. If you think about driving 2 tons over curbs and over roads all day,
Yeah.
like on a bicycle, you have to do 150,000 trips to equal the same impact as like a 2-ton SUV driving down a road.
Wow. That's
So,
wild.
yeah, the savings are in so many areas because the mental health impacts of bike riding, the savings come from health and infrastructure.
So
and
the $20 is all of it.
all of the,
Gotcha.
save
Yep.
the economy. Yeah, and sort of the pollution as well, because there's a cost to the pollution.
Am I missing something? Because usually when there's, if you're talking about coal or something like this, there's a bunch of people that are making a lot of money and there's a disincentive for them to change, and there's all of these underlying
And there's a lot of
systems and
usually subsidies propping up coal and stuff to continue to make it cost effective. Like it's not actually cheaper than renewables. Yeah.
like the cost of plastic. There's a bunch of studies on
Yeah.
the true cost of plastic. But I can't draw a link. Why aren't we just buying people's lunches to drive to work?
Yeah. To ride to work.
It's cheaper it's better for everybody. Like,
Man, they should be buying my lunch. I'm doing 20 kilometres or 22 sometimes round trip.
oh, yeah, you get a fancy dinner
Yeah.
and the gimlet for
When they started paying people in Belgium, I think it ended up about €5 a commute on average.
wow.
Or a
that's
day,
crazy.
I think. Ridership went up significantly.
Yeah.
It's a massive lever to pull.
And maintained.
And maintained, yes.
Cool.
And I think that cost of living thing is really big.
Yeah.
I was public transporting into work the other week. I was like, I don't think of it. Like, I don't usually have to spend $50 getting into work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it $50?
Well, like 10 or a bit more than 10 a day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so 50 a week.
Yeah. I didn't go in every day, so it wasn't 50. I realise I'll fact check myself there. But even anything, like you get used to not paying for transport very much.
The thing I never factor in is spending time finding a park. I get into a car and I'm like, what? Can't just pull up right out the front and lock my bike to a pole, you know?
Yeah, and I don't like car parks, multi-level kind of things.
Safety-wise,
They're a bit
so-
intense. So.
Oh, yeah.
They
I mean,
are dreary.
They are dreary.
they're dreary.
They're dreary.
Yeah. And I've been out for dinner with a friend. If it's me and, say, another woman I'm out having dinner with and she's driven and I've ridden my bike, I'll say, oh, well, let me just grab my bike and I'll walk you to your car so I can see you safely into your car. And then they're like, what about you? And I'm like, I'm off. You know?
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you're immediately moving and safe and on a road. I mean, safe relative, but you're not walking down a little one-way street to where you parked your car.
No.
Interesting.
No.
With your sandwich, so what's her name, the mayor of Paris?
And Hidalgo.
Anne Hidalgo.
I'm probably butchering it.
Oh, well, I just butchered your butchering of it, so we're good. Do you have an idea of what might go in that sandwich?
Yes, I do. So I would put in, this is all I've been thinking about. Is it allowed to be not vegetarian?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So it would be jamon because she has a Spanish background.
Yep.
And then some French cheese.
Yep.
Maybe something stinky because she has created a stink, but and, in some circles. And actually, that's a really interesting thing. Sorry. So the people who fought hardest against the bike infrastructure being put into their area were the rich parts of Paris. Because they had the money to fight and bring in lawyers and the rest of it.
Yeah,
Right.
So the rich parts of Paris now, they are the most polluted parts of Paris.
Yeah, right.
They're
And congested?
And congested parts of Paris, yes. Which I think is really is fascinating. So
Yeah.
look at how cities work.
Yeah.
And then some sort of sharp pickle kind of thing because she's, gutsy and will change things for you.
Oh, so good.
Sounds like a great sandwich.
That sounds like a great, and very classic in some ways, but also specific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do that at the start? I feel like that's a fun way to start.
The sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should in the future. Do you want to do this one?
Well, first of all, Katie, thank you so much for coming in and chatting to us today. It was great to meet you and awesome to hear about the curiosity and wonderful little things that happen inside your head, often while you're riding along on a bike. I hope I bump into you at a traffic light.
I've made myself sound like a threat.
No, I mean that in the most positive way. The genuine curiosity is amazing. We would just like to close out the podcast in the same way that we close all of our podcasts out to, which is the underlying desire and goal for this conversation is to get 1 degree closer to Brian Eno. So if anyone out there is with Brian right now, send us a message. I'm happy to pass on my phone number and we can arrange to have this ham-on French cheese and bitey pickle sandwich together.
Yes. Excellent. Oh, I hope they call. Let's call.
So good. Thanks, Katie.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to chat with you two.
Always fun to hang.